felt that it was time, and I wanted to go back and see the life that my parents had led for the first time. Well, a few months later, I took my 88 and 90-year-old parents, together with my 2 children and my brother, on a journey back to the country they left 65 years before. The country my father vowed he would never step foot in again. Much to my surprise, the city was not dark and war-torn as I had expected. Instead, it was precisely as my mother had described. Beautiful, lush, and vibrant. The opera house was there, the university was there, and the ballet school was brimming over with students. The forest where my aunt had been executed was the greenest I had ever seen. And the beaches, well, they were precisely as my mom had described. Sugary, powdery, and perfect. The Jewish population was slowly rebuilding. Monuments commemorating the site of mass executions had recently been erected and provided a place for my parents, at long last, to mourn. The Latvian government had finally acknowledged the atrocities they had been complicit in decades before. My parents came to realize that they could awake from the nightmare that had overwhelmed their lives, and to see that it was real, it was wrong, and it was over. Although there were many tears on that trip, my parents seemed finally at peace, even happy for the first time in my memory, happy to be reunited with their memories, and happy to share them with us. As for me, it was a revelation. I was, for the first time in my life, able to acknowledge and appreciate the beauty of the life that they had lived. And in so doing, I began to finally understand the magnitude of the life that was so cruelly and so abruptly torn from them. Last year, I heard a talk by the director of Yad Vashem, the famed Holocaust Museum in Israel. She explained that the museum, a memorial with more depictions of life and death, was designed for people to understand the scope of the lives lost during the Holocaust by demonstrating to them the fullness of the lives that people had lived. Our experience in Latvia was a testament to that very design of Yad Vashem. As most of you know, the Holocaust is one of the most studied and documented events in history, and yet incredibly, there is a growing movement of people who deny its existence. These deniers are not only in the Mideast and in Venezuela, but just 3 weeks ago, one of the most notorious Holocaust deniers questioned the truth of its existence while speaking at a Ritz-Carlton right here in Palm Beach County. This is a stark reminder that our work is not done, that we must use our resources and the resources of the ADL to expose these deniers and to expose the terrible consequences of their lies and hate in ways that our children and our contemporaries can understand. Because if we do not, if we look away, either because we were Holocaust survivors, because our parents were Holocaust survivors, or because they were not, we will be looking away not only from those who condone anti-Semitism, but also those who oppress women in the Mideast, blacks in South Africa, Cubans in their native land, and millions of others around the world. Whether or not we are children of survivors, or children of a generation that bore witness to these atrocities, we are not children anymore. We're strong, competent adults with opportunities. Opportunities to ADL not only financially, but through our words and our deeds every day. Teachers can be role models. Citizens, like Libby Kavinsky, can work on legislative change. But as attorneys, we have an even greater responsibility to act. We have the special training, we have the skills to respond to injustice, just as Albert did, and to defend the liberty of others. That is why I am so proud to receive this award, an award that focuses on the role of the legal profession in promoting and protecting the most fundamental rights and freedoms. While I greatly appreciate this award, I humbly respond that it is this organization that deserves to be honored and supported for its tireless work. I gratefully accept this award, and I accept it in honor of my parents, my grandparents, and all the other relatives to whom I owe these life lessons. Today, while we remember the past and say, never again, let us pledge to create a world in which there is no place for hate, a world with possibilities, as wide as the beaches of Riga and as deep as the oceans that were crossed for freedom. Thank you.